Well, I like the 2 points. I'll tell you that. Well, I thought obviously we stayed in it after we gave up the goal there, and I thought we had a couple different pushbacks. I thought we started the game great. We totally lost our momentum the second half of the first due to bad power plays and their goal. This first part of the second period was not good at all. And then we really pushed, I thought, after that, so that was great. And then after they scored there in the third, I thought we pushed again. So I guess just, continue to be resilient.
It didn't take you long for you to give Bertuzzi a promotion. How do you think he responded to that?
I like Bert. I think Bert's a good player. I think Bert, I think the one thing that he's missing right now is he hasn't practiced with us, so he doesn't the systems don't come natural to him. Not that it's light years difference than GR, but he's got to make sure that you need 5 guys on the same page. He's got to execute that a little bit better. But I like him lots. I think he goes to the net hard. I think he's hard in the puck and he's smart. I think he's a greasy type player that you need to have to be successful.
You talked yesterday about it. You don't know any player that doesn't have to work hard every shift to be great. Was that what you saw tonight with Andreas?
Well, I thought his work ethic and compete was good. And you can't be. I don't even know if you can be a good player in this league without work ethic and compete. I mean, someone's got to tell me one if there is one, but not in today's game. Maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, but not today. So I thought his work ethic and compete was real good today, and he got rewarded with minutes.
What do you like about his game, playing the wing versus using him as center?
Oh, well, I actually like either way, to be honest with you. I think he's good at the center position. I wouldn't say I prefer him at the wing. With the one exception being he's got to win more face-offs if he wants to be a center in the National Hockey League. So that would be one. I think both ways, the more he obviously uses his speed away from the puck and not just wait for it to come to him and then take off. I think when he uses speed away from the puck, he's a much more effective player. Example was the goal tonight. And, I think at the center position, he is real good in down low coverage, closing on people like that. To me, with Double A's game totally comes down to when he works and competes hard, he's a really good player.
What makes just suits, when he plays with Larkin? Like what factors into that dynamic that really seems to work well?
They're both speed players. I mean, they both players who have rush game. And not that they, we want to make sure we're good in the ozone too, but they're both speed players and want to play rush game. And so I just think their games are alike. I think Doubles has always played well with rush type players.
What makes Nielsen so good in shootouts?
That's a good question. Was a bad goalie, so I'm not the one to answer that. I would say Nielsen's got a couple moves. He doesn't overcomplicate it, and I think sometimes some real good scorers are bad shootout guys. We were talking about today watching the USA-Canada game. It's amazing how some really good players, especially real good scorers, can be really bad shootout guys because they overcomplicate it. Nielsen doesn't. He keeps it simple. And he's got a couple go-to moves, and he just reads the goalie and makes those moves.
Jeff, those flip passes, are those just kind of happen naturally in the game, or is that something that's drawn up?
Well, the idea of getting behind people and putting pucks into space is something we talked lots about. We thought we thought in New York, our transition game was very good against them. They want to attack. What's the best way to beat attack is to counter attack. Everybody wants to gap up so tight now that you got to be able to put pucks into space. Now you got to be careful. I think Toronto early in the year fell in love with it, and then all of a sudden they were just giving the puck away. Like, it's just something that you got to be smart with it. But I thought when we got ourselves in trouble tonight, we didn't make hard plays hard. We want to make hard plays hard, put pucks into space, get into foot races. We got lots of speed. Let's utilize it.
Playing against the Rangers and against Lundqvist seems to bring out the best in Jimmy.